Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to Phoenix Blues Daily Update. First things first, let me please apologize for not having the update up first thing this morning. Unfortunately, we had slight technical difficulties in regards to the update, but getting you the update nonetheless. I think we've had a fair amount of news out already today, predominantly all coming out from here in the UK. Just so you know, it's just gone 3 o'clock here in London. And right now, we're just looking at the daily chart for cable. Right now, floating at 1.2880s. There or thereabouts. A decline in the value of cable after this morning's announcement from the MPC and the Bank of England to keep rates unchanged, still sitting at 0.25%. So no change whatsoever from the Bank of England. Which really has driven the price of sterling down against the US dollar after the markets having priced in a potential rate hike. Now, with inflation riding up, also the newest figures coming out from the UK of production slowing down in the UK after the output coming out from the economy towards the tail end of last year. And I think definitely Brexit coming into the equation. The Bank of England have told us and given us their outlook on a potential rate hike, which should be coming towards the middle or late 2019, where they would expect the rate of inflation at that point to be controlled by any adjustment in their base rate. But they don't see any reason right now to change rates, and I think they're more than anything else they're letting it ride out to see how the rate of inflation picks up. So cable right now sitting a little lower than has been expected. We probably would have seen a break of that 1.3 most certainly today if we did see any rate increase, but not certainly not seeing that right now. Moving across the charts, the other big movers for today, I think one that most certainly needs to be talked about is WTI right now floating at 47.86. Remember, having come down and hit that low of sub 45 only towards last week, and now having picked up again with inventories out in the US saying they're a little flatter or a little emptier than what they have been, and also definitive cuts from some key OPEC states to Asia and output limitations going out there that have been banded around. So price of WTI and oil picking up. The greenback has moved somewhat today, and if we have a look at the euro, which is relatively flat over the course of the last 2 days, but having come down a lot lower than where it's currently sitting after PPI data as well as data out in terms of employment from stateside. The labour market, well, the data coming out is definitely showing a strengthening of the labor market in the US, which is a good sign. Definitely good news for the Fed. And with PPI also pushing slightly better figures, it definitely gives the Fed for a definitive rate hike in June. So probably look to most definitely see that on the cards for the June meeting from the Fed. Moving on over to the Australian dollar, again relatively unchanged on the daily chart, literally floating at whereabouts where it's opened up from, has come down and hit those lows that we've seen over the course of the last 2-3 days, and stayed very much within its range over the course of the last 3 days. The yen, on the other hand, has gained some momentum off the greenback. Probably the largest gain for the yen against the greenback over at least a fortnight, where it hasn't. Excuse me, where it hasn't definitely moved as much. Right now, currently floating at 113.60. Another big mover for today. Just moving on to gold, and just having a quick look at the price of gold. Right now, gold floating at 1225.95. So guys, as always, there'll be an update tomorrow morning. Until next time, happy trading. Bye bye.